Canadian cartoons are like packages from Plan X. Sometimes they work, sometimes they hurt, but they always blow my mind. I've been a longtime fan of the works of the Great White North, but they kinda let me down with their 2018 harvest. Enter D.N.Ace, which aired over the summer on Teletoon. Has Canada finally come through for me once again? It's been a while since we've seen anything new on the Northern Front. By the time Wishfart played out on its home turf last summer, it had already long since run in Britain. And while Wishfart was a great show and a good example of what CanCon is capable of, Cupcake and Dino General Services, the next show of theirs to cross customs, did not wow me at all. Spaceman Robotron, a third cartoon that was supposed to drop last year, is still AWOL. But 2019 was a new year for Canadian kids cartoons, and while we had to wait a bit to see the fruits of their labor, additionally even the spelling optional, it was certainly worth the wait. 2 years-ish of development came to a head on Saturday, July 13th, when the somewhat long-awaited DNAce premiered on Teletoon. It's about 12-year-old Ace Ripley, who, believe it or not, has the power to screw around with DNA to make ridiculously mashed-up creatures. So, with my foreign boys to fall for quota desperately underfilled, let's see if this new cartoon keeps up the long-standing, mostly ironclad tradition of great Canadian content.
What if life isn't what it seems? A meteorite beneath your feet. Build your own gene splicing teams. Unlock a whole new reality.
This cartoon made me want to gush about it from the theme song. It's not the best theme song in the world or anything, but it doesn't have to be. The visuals say plenty. Well, the audio also says plenty as well. First, by giving away that our main character is voiced by the same guy as Corey Riffin from 2013's Garage Band. The fact they sing over guitar does not help to obscure that fact. But it's a small world of Canadian voice actors after all, so it's nice that Corey's got a new gig. Like Stefan at a New York City nightclub, this intro has everything. A cool gadget, epic lighting effects, laser blasts, explosions, a vaguely toyetic battlefield, a crab fighting a washing machine, and a protagonist who is totally down for whatever. Like, the premise was already interesting, but the execution makes this show even awesomer. The show starts with a two-part opening episode, a ballsy move, but one I expect Canada has the guts to pull off. In their efforts to stuff every possible thing you can think of into this show all at once, our story begins with a squirrel getting hit by a meteor in the desert, and self-narrating his journey to, I guess, the viewers. I have also heard this squirrel's voice before, but I couldn't put my finger on it for a whole day. It's the voice of Venomous Drool, the villain from Fangbo. Anyway, back on topic. This is definitely one of the weirder ways to kick off a show, but I'm already interested, so we just roll with it. Until we actually meet Ace. And his stepbrother Stu.
Oh, Stu, my painfully naive stepbrother. You want to know why?
Ace is excitable, energetic, and honestly lovable. Also,
Face it, Step Stu. Clashbots are taking over, and it's awesome!
Ace Ripley is taking Corey Riffin to octaves no Corey Riffin has gone before. When you see him gush over Clashbots, you feel it, and you want to be excited for them too. And you get the chance, but that's later. First, we have to meet Sloane, a girl on the run, apparently, from her brother, who seems to be one cat away from being the villain in the new Bond movie, No Time to Die, and certainly the next minute or so is worthy of being in that film. And this is all because Sloane thinks it's no time to die for this crab. It won't be, but that's later. They tumble down into Ace's basement, and it all just kinda happens. The squirrel wanted to protect the meteor. Ace's great-great-granddad was a coincidental scientist. The two made a weird device, hoping to make warriors to protect their secret, but they never got the chance to make it work. The squirrel needed a partner. Ace needed tickets for the Clashbot event, but he got those already. Now they make mashups and fight bots. Feels good. Okay, that long, drawn-out, and unnecessary reference aside, Ace succeeds where his ancestors failed and makes Squirrel Mendel and Great-Great-Gramp Zeb's DNA Scrambler, or D-Scram for short, finally work after 100 years. His first creation is a bit awkward, but his next few are quite unique. As we head further through the show, you kind of appreciate how these mashup creatures, or scrammers as they're quickly dubbed, are not just means to an end, but also have their own personalities, becoming characters on this show in their own right. They get their own stories, quirks, and development as they grow into something that's uniquely their own. Sloane's brother Huxley is a douche. Not only did he force their parents out of their $1 million company, not only did he probably eat a puppy for lunch, but he also owns the Clashatorium and canceled Sloane and Ace's tickets. a real Class A jerk. The Scrammers are pulled into Clashbot fighting through a bit of a convenient misunderstanding, but they end up showing Huxley who's boss, at least for now. I could not think of a more perfect way to do a first episode, and I think the decision to stretch it out into 22 minutes really helped with that. The pacing wasn't rushed, and the story was exciting, interesting, even deep. In later episodes, the show can manage 11 minutes of runtime just fine too, managing to do what so few American cartoons have been able to lately, and pace things right. Tell the story in an interesting way, and stick in exposition and character development while they're at it. You'd think those would be givens for any cartoon, but you'd be surprised at how many duds the US has come out with lately, which have failed on at least one of these fronts. Looking at you, Cartoon Network! This is the second time the name Ace has been used for a cartoon character in modern times, the first time being the Australian cartoon Get Ace a few years ago. Thus the name joins the likes of Milo and Randy in the rare pedigree of the First Name Second Timers Club. Ace Ripley can sell this show himself. He's just that good of a character. Luckily, he doesn't have to, as he's got a stellar supporting cast by his side as well. Not just Slow and Mendel, but all the Scrammers he makes as well. The art style seems a little simplistic, but the show makes it work just fine. Before watching the show, the promotional art made the characters look a little like relatives of Playmobil figures, currently TV immortalized through preschool series Super 4. It still kinda looks like that, but that's hardly a gripe towards this show. And when you see them animated, that resemblance is the least of your concerns. The art style itself isn't revolutionary or groundbreaking, but then again, this is Canada. They don't need to be visually stunning because they've got the important stuff down pat. Like the Scrammers themselves, this show is a bit of a mashup, combining those always solid Canadian sensibilities with hints of Japanese influence. Come on, that credit sequence is not of this hemisphere. The Clashbots concept just feels like it's begging to become a toy line. And honestly, I'd buy it if it ever did. And even if it doesn't, it's still a good story. D.N.Ace exemplifies everything I love about Canadian cartoons. Creative concepts, great characters, wonderful storytelling, and just flawless execution. How can you not like this show? If you're looking to try something new during this relatively sparse time for kids TV in the States, give Canada a call. They'll show you a good time. Canadian cartoons are back, everyone, and they're here to kick some butt. If you like this video, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss my next review of a Canadian cartoon that's coming out very soon. There's more from the world of television to check out every single week here on my channel, and you can explore some more with me right now in the videos right over here. I'm Benzie Johnson Jr., I'm enthusiastic about television, and I'll see you next time.